Hey, this is Jason with PTCI, and we welcome you back to our live streaming workshop, a virtual workshop. This will be the final one as we are just 8 days away from D-Day as PTCI DITV is going away for good on June the 30th. So if you do have any questions, we want to say hello to everybody watching us live on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook live feed right now as well. If you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the comment section on either one of those, and we'll be here to try to answer those. You can go ahead and do that at any time, and we'll check back at that page from time to time to see if we can help. And today we're going to show you some of the cable replacement apps that you can use to kind of replace your cable. They're going to be an app we're going to show you on a Roku TV. There are different ways you can do it. There's Roku is one of the systems which they have TVs and also a stick, which we'll show you here in a little bit. Also, Amazon Fire has a stick, and also there are Amazon Fire TVs as well. There's Google Chromecast, and the other major player is Apple TV. Some of these cable replacement apps, you should be able to save quite a bit of money signing up for them, even if you don't have internet yet. If you add internet in, it shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. We'll start out first here with YouTube TV. You can see we just moved over here, and we've got that highlighted here, and we can step into that. Before I do that, I will show you what a Roku stick is. This right here is a Roku stick, okay? On the end of it, it has an HDMI plug. If you've got a flat screen TV, chances are it's got one in there. Roku does make a device called a Roku Express Plus that you can use the RCA plugs, which are your red, white, and yellow. Those three plugs like that, you can actually use that instead. But this Roku stick, you just plug this into an HDMI plug in the back of your TV. If you put it in HDMI 1 on your controller, you'll go to HDMI input 1 for that. And then on the other end of this, it does need electricity. So it's got a little plug right here that goes in. I put it in the correct way, pops right into place. And then at the other end, it has a USB plug, okay? USB port. Now you can do one of two things with this. If you have it up on, if you have your TV not on a stand but actually on a wall, you can actually plug this. Most HDMI TVs also have a USB port. You can plug it in there. It can get your electricity through the TV. And also, it does come with this piece right here that has a USB port, kind of like your smartphone does, to charge your smartphone, and then you can plug that into the wall. But Amazon Fire Stick is going to look virtually the same with the Google Chromecast and the Apple TV. One thing that you will need for most of these devices, this TV and also this Roku stick that we showed you, they do work off of wireless internet. So you not only need an internet connection, but you're going to need a router for that. And we'll get into, PTCI does offer some services, and we'll get into that a little bit later about how we can provide your router for you and also help you out with that down the road as well. But we'll get into these cable replacement apps. First, we'll start with YouTube TV. This is the remote for the Roku. You can see not a whole lot of buttons on it. You probably haven't had a TV remote with that few buttons in 30 years. You can see, like we said, it's highlighted right here. The main buttons you use, you've got your arrows around here and an OK button in the middle. It has the volume up and down and the mute on the side. Okay, you can play, pause, fast forward, and also go back as well. And this little home button right here, it looks like a little house on there. That takes you back to this screen at any time you're lost. And also a back button, which takes you to whatever previous screen you were on. So now that I've moved the arrow over here on YouTube TV, if I hit the OK button, it'll take me into YouTube TV. Now, YouTube TV, as we mentioned, is a cable replacement app. For under $55 a month, tax included, unless there's some place that has extremely high taxes, you can get this over 70 channels for under $55 a month. When it first comes up, it comes up on this home screen. Now what's going to be on the home screen is you're going to have top picks for you. It kind of looks at whatever you've watched on your TV. It's going to bring those up automatically. Below that, you can see different categories. It's got on here shows, comedies, movies, sports, action, drama, reality, adventure, sitcom, and it would go on. But you can click on any one of these. Like if I click on comedy right here, it's going to bring it up. It's got a list of top picks for you. I can actually break it down if I want to look at movies that are comedic. If I want to look at sitcom shows, other different as well categories, I can break it down even more. If I go below picked for you, it shows shows that are actually live and on right now that fit into this category. And then it also has movies that would fit into this category as well, broken down by categories. Okay? Now it's down to sitcoms and then also Emmy-winning variety series, crime drama movies, and so on. So it'll break it down even further in categories. If I hit the back button, I'm back right where I was. If I move down to my home page one more, it says resume watching. So all of these are shows that we started to watch and then left it or paused it and didn't finish it. We can actually click on it and go right back where we were on the show. If I click over on this program right here, hit OK, it's going to start it up, not at the very beginning, but right where we paused it before. Okay? So it's that simple. I hit the back button, now it's playing in the background. If I had the volume on, you could even hear it as well. And you'll see in the middle of it, it does say that it's actually playing right now. There are other topical categories that are below it in this part. Shows that it puts up that you may possibly want to add to your library. Then different shows and different categories, shows, sports, family, and movies down below too as well. And there's news and other categories. If we hit the back button, it takes us back to the top where the home button is. If we click over to live, this is where you're going to see your guide, what you think of as your traditional guide. Okay, it's going to show you what's on right now. Time is going to be across the top from left to right. Your channels are going to run down the left column over here. Okay. Now, if I move down where it's highlighted right on live, I can move down into the guide. You'll notice on here, it tells me how much time is left in this show. It also shows the rating, also kind of maybe a title for that particular program, and what time that it started as well. Okay. Now, one thing you'll notice over here on the channels, notice there's no numbers here. You're not going to turn to channel 725 or 352 anymore. These are just going to be set up as the channels. Okay. Now, if you go all the way over here, you'll see it does say Local 4. Of course, that's out of Amarillo. The channel NBC affiliate is channel 4. But like if I want to record something in here, I can move out. I can move days ahead as well. Let's say I go out here to this evening. Let's say I want to watch the BBC World News. If I want to record this, it tells me it starts 5 o'clock in 2 hours and 49 minutes, okay? I hit the OK button. It's going to bring up separate screen here. It's highlighted on back. I have to move it to more info. And then you'll notice right here where it says added to library. That's what we did. We went ahead and added it to the library. If you don't want it in the library anymore, you highlight that, turns it off. If you see the plus sign, that means it's not in the library. If you see the check mark, that means it is in the library, okay? And if I look here now, it'll show me what I can watch right now, which I can go back and watch the June 19th. That's basically what's called on demand, which means you didn't record it, but it is available on demand. Now the difference you'll see between on demand and recording is that you can fast forward through the commercials on recording, but when something's on demand, typically you'll have to let those play out. You can also move down to where it has your scheduled times that program is going to be on. About is just information about that program, maybe give you a clue of what it's about or that episode is. And then there can also be information about cast members as well there too. We hit the back button. Now we're back on the schedule now. Now, since you don't have channels, and you don't have channel numbers, and you don't have channels on your button, like numbers on there to turn to a certain channel, you might think it might take you a lot of time to get through the channels. Well, one of the things you can do with YouTube TV that's really neat is you actually have to do this on a different device than your TV, but you can do it on you can log into your account, which you'll have an email with the account and you'll have a password, okay? You'll be able to log into that account on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone, and you can actually set up this guide over here, put the channels just the way you want. So let's say there's 6 or 7 channels that you watch most of the time. You can put those up at the very top of your guide. You can actually delete channels. If there's channels that you say, I don't watch this and I really don't want anybody watching this in my house. If you have grandkids or kids coming to your house that maybe you feel like that channel has inappropriate content or something, you can actually take it off of your guide completely. But other than that, you can set up your guide where at the very top you have the channels that you watch the most, those that you watch periodically in the middle, and those you watch sparingly at the bottom. And like I said, those that you don't want as a part of your guide, you can literally delete them off of the guide. So that's a pretty handy way to do that. And like I said, if you had 6 or 7, I mean, you're looking at right here, you're getting 5 on one screen. So you really wouldn't have to go through many to find what you want that way. I'll hit the back button. I'm back up here to the top. Now we'll also go over here to the library. Library is where we're going to have our recordings and different upcoming shows that we've showed interest in. The first line is new to your library. So these are shows that have episodes that were recently taped, and it actually has under here, like on Jeopardy, Daytime Jeopardy, says 5 new episodes that have been recorded on here. It's got them broken down in categories by most watched. Also, what's scheduled, okay? This is showing things that are recording right now, and also those, if I go over here, later today, tomorrow, and then so on. Okay? It breaks it down by shows. So I can go in here, if I'm a big Family Feud fan, but I don't get to watch it every day, I can go in here and I can actually go back and watch the ones that I've missed, okay? There's one all the way from back on October 3rd, okay? So you can go in and look by shows. Whatever movies that you record, it puts it in a nice little category here. You can also go through here and you can put your sports teams here. You know, whatever sport it is you enjoy, you can click here. If you're a Thunder fan, whatever games are available for you would be listed here, of course, with everything going on. But you could go back and watch old ball games here that were on TV because they were recorded as well. And then it also has some team information there as well too. But you could do that with, you know, especially that's really helpful when it comes to basketball and baseball, since they play not quite on a daily schedule, but pretty regularly, and their games are not always on the same channels. I will tell you that one of the things that that has come up is YouTube TV did have a nice agreement with the regional Fox Sports channels like Fox Sports Southwest, which also included Fox Sports Oklahoma, but it is not a part of their guide right now. So hopefully they will get their differences worked out and get that done before sporting events start happening again on a regular basis. But you can go here to go to any games that you want here. You can literally go here to find out where the game is, and you can click on it from here. You don't have to go back to the guide to find it. There's also a category here for events, which it does have a lot of ball games here, but let's say you enjoy the different award programs like the Grammys or the Emmys, that would actually fit into the events category as well. We'll back up here to the top. I will tell you in the live guide, one of the things that is important with YouTube TV, of course, they do have all 4 of the major networks with NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. Now, these channels are going to come out of Amarillo, okay? On our cable system, we were able to offer the Oklahoma City channels at quite a premium cost, I might add. But the reason we were able to is because Laverne is in our coverage area, and Laverne is outside of the Oklahoma Panhandle and in the Oklahoma City News Network area. So I know that's frustrating for some people here in the Oklahoma Panhandle that you can't get Oklahoma City news. I will show you here in a little while how you can get Oklahoma City news for free. Now, it'll only have local news on there, but when it comes to programming, the Amarillo station is going to be virtually the same as Oklahoma City. We don't have a lot of local programming anymore. The shows that are on in the afternoons, if there's those shows are mainly syndicated. When we're talking about, like we showed you, Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, Ellen, Judge Judy, any of those type of shows, those are so popular, they're going to be available on both of those regional TVs. So really the local news is the only thing that's going to be different. There may be something every once in a while that might be included in one that's not on the other, but it will be very rare. I do want to show you, however, in the guide here, you'll notice one channel that is available on YouTube TV. If PBS is important to you right now, YouTube TV is the only one that we know of that actually has PBS. And it actually has 2. You'll see this one says OETA, and then below it, it has the PBS out of the Texas Panhandle. So not only is it the only one with PBS, but it actually has both of them on here. Now if we go back up to the top, we go over here, you've got a little magnifying glass right here. And what that is this is your search, okay? And just like the example here, you could put action movies in here. You can put the name or some keywords to a TV show or a movie or an event that you're wanting to look up. And it will bring up either content that has been recorded or that is set to show on live TV, and also information that you can watch on demand. You can put the name of an actor or an actress in there, and you can find their content that is available on this cable service that you would be paying for. Okay. Also over here, the little person icon. This is your settings button here. It'll have your account information. Also in settings, if we go down here to billing, it shows us our payment method, which it shows what card. You're going to have a credit card or a debit card to make this work, because they're going to automatically charge you every month. Now, you don't sign up for 2 years or anything like that. You actually have them month to month. So it's not any kind of long-term agreement on that. Most of them offer a week free trial anyway, too. So you can try these out for free. Now, it tells us what day and how much is going to come out for that. So I'll back out of that. One of the other things that we'll look at here is we'll go down here to filter, okay? And you can turn this on where it doesn't allow anything above PG, okay? Or the only movies it allows rated G or PG, and shows the highest rating it goes up to is TVY, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that if you turn that on, that you can't watch anything of a higher rating than that. It just means that you'll have to set up a code, like a 4-digit code, that you have to put in before it will allow that program to come on, okay? So YouTube TV has added this filter in. If you got little kids, especially at your house, that's just a way to keep them from, little eyes from seeing something that you don't want them to see. And there's also some other information on here as well. A lot of it really it says you're going to have to go to the website to change it or anything too, but there is some other information here as well. So that is really how YouTube TV works. Also, you'll notice we're still playing in the background on this. If I just want to get off the guide and go back to that, see how I've highlighted that at the top? Click OK. That shows back on. Okay. Now I'm going to hit the home button, and it'll take me back to my home screen. You'll notice this kind of looks like if you've had a smartphone for the first time here in the last couple of years. That's kind of what these are. They're apps, a lot like your like you have apps on your phone. Now that we've shown you one, we've talked a little bit about the Oklahoma City channels, or really news from anywhere. Here's one of the ways you can get there. News On is an app that is available on 2 of the services. It's available on Roku products, and it's also available on Apple TV products. And what you're going to be able to do here on this is you're going to be able to watch the news from really anywhere, okay? Now you'll notice when it first comes up, it's got it on Amarillo News Channel 10. You'll see it says at noon. So if there's live news on right now, they'll show you the live news. If there's no live news on right now, it will show you the most recent broadcast, is how that works. Obviously, here in the early afternoon, the noon broadcast would be the most recent. Now, you flip through here, and it's got your most local stations like Lubbock, Texas, Lawton, Oklahoma, Colorado Springs. Oklahoma City has 2 channels on here. KOKH, Fox 25 out of Oklahoma City, and also KOCO, Channel 5 out of Oklahoma City. Okay? You can also mark a station as your favorite. This is our favorite list here. We've got both of those Oklahoma City stations and one of them out of Dallas as well marked. And we'll show you how easy it is to toggle back and forth on that. We'll go to KOCO here. And you'll notice it's highlighted right here around it. Now, if it is live, usually right here, what you'll see is a little red rectangle that says live in white right there, okay? You'll notice it says previous and it's starting to say newscast right there. So obviously that's from earlier in the day, okay? And this box over here, remove from favorites. If I push the arrow over, I can remove it from a favorite, and it's that easy to add it as a favorite as well. So I put it back in as a favorite. Now, if I click on the station, what's going to come up first most of the time is this, you saw how it said, your program will begin after this message. Typically, you're going to see a 15 to 30-second commercial that comes up before your news coverage comes on. You'll notice over here it even says add one of one, okay? That's how they make it free. They've got their own advertising. Now, when the news comes on, you see it coming on. Now, sometimes you may come on and you may just see a screensaver that has the logo of the channel on there. That means they're in their own commercial break, okay? And since the two are not tied, you're just going to see their logo during that commercial break, okay? But this is, like I said, the most recent newscast on KOCO Channel 5. We back out of there. It does have previous newscast from this morning, 6 to 7, 5 to 6, 4:30 to 5 a.m. And then also right here, this is the 10 o'clock news from last night. So you can go back and watch previous newscasts over the last few days. You can also go down, and they do place some clips in here as well, okay? So these are different clips. If you know, maybe you said, hey, somebody, so-and-so that we know was on the news, and you want to just go watch that clip, you may be able to find it in this category, all right? And then below that, they do have other nearby stations, okay? Now, if we click back and we go up to the top, they did add this category, breaking news, which you can click on here. They've got information right now about COVID-19 that is available on here. And then, if you want to see news from anywhere in the country, all 50 states are included here on all stations. First, on all stations, across the top, closest stations, they've got those listed. But you can move down into here and you can go to any state, they're listed here, and including the District of Columbia, they're listed in order, and you can find news from anywhere. Let's say we want to watch the news in Michigan, and they break it down by different areas. Bay City, Saginaw, and Flint, they've got one station there, one in Detroit, and another in Flint. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Battle Creek. Over on the western side of the state, they've got two, and one in Lansing in the northern part. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce where that is, but they also have a station there too. But if I click on this news channel right here, it's going to be the same way. It's showing that its previous newscast, it was their, would have been on 11 o'clock here. Of course, that would have been when their last news was on. And we can click on here, and we can see this was their news nooncast. Obviously, they're on the East Coast time frame, so that's why it's at 11 o'clock here, but they're showing the most recent newscast on theirs. So that's a way that you can get Oklahoma City channels, KOCO, and also Fox 25. Now, we will show you this too. News Channel 9 out of Oklahoma City actually has their own app, okay? So you can download it, and the easiest way to find it was to go into search and put News 9, And typically you'll see it pop up when you put News 9. But this is what theirs looks like. And right here it's showing you live is not available because obviously they don't have the live news on right now. But what they do have is they have different stories, segments that they'll play. And you can go by category too. News, crime, sports. You can also go by the whole newscast there from different days. Here's the 6 a.m. from today on June 22nd. You can watch the whole thing. Now, you don't have to look at it this way too. You can actually click over here. I've highlighted the screen, the little white line popped up around it. I click OK. I can make it go to the full screen. But that's how you can watch 3 out of the 4 network channels out of Oklahoma City on those 2 apps, and both of them are free. Now, back to the cable replacement apps. I will tell you, I mentioned with YouTube TV having all 4 of the local channels. These 3 right here are the 3 that are going to have those. YouTube with YouTube TV, also AT&T TV Now, and Hulu with Live TV. Now, we do want to decipher YouTube and YouTube TV are 2 different products. YouTube is what you can watch this program on right now. We're live streaming it. You can go back and watch our archived products. Just about anybody out there can start a YouTube channel. They can put whatever they want on there. Whereas YouTube TV, that's where you're going to pay a monthly subscription for cable channel content, as we were just showing you. Same with Hulu. Hulu has, I'm not sure they have a free service anymore, but they do have a service that doesn't have live TV with it. So, but you can get it with live TV to where you can get the cable replacements. But those 3 across the top, those are the ones that have the local channels. And as we mentioned, they're all out of the Amarillo area. Let's look at AT&T TV. Once again, we do want to mention, if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in either on our YouTube page or on our Facebook page, either one. Now, when we bring up AT&T TV, it automatically goes to the last channel that was on. If I push the down arrow, it brings up this little guide. If I go over to Guide, it'll bring up my channel guide, the traditional channel guide. Then I push the down arrow onto it. I've got time across the top again, channels down the side. Now, on that far left column, you'll see a couple of these towards the bottom that have the little pink hearts, and then these up here that are empty. That is how they allow you to set up your guide, is you can set up your favorites by moving over. I moved over here to the heart. If I push the OK button, see how it filled it in? So that's how easy it is to add it to your favorites. Now, if I click over one more time, you'll notice we've got the channel guide set on all, okay? But I can switch it down here to favorites. And now you'll see all the channels that we've got the hearts on. Those are going to be in that list because those are the ones we marked as our favorites. So, if you got 6 or 7 channels that you watch most of the time, you can put them in that separate guide. It doesn't mean you still can't watch other channels, but it does allow you to break it down by category that way. You can also, as we move that back to all, you can go down and look at guides. Let's say you're in the mood to watch a movie. You can click on movies down here, and it's going to show you what movies are on right now in the guide and what will be on later in the day as well. If I click over here, showing all the different movies that are currently running on here. Okay, I can do that by TV shows, sports, And you'll notice on sports, it's sports related content too, because some of those are just TV shows about sports, not actually sporting events. Also one for kids shows. So you can set up your guide and flip through the guide many different ways that way. Now to record on here, very easy as well. Let's move down here. We'll move out to the night. Let's say we want to tape Beat Bobby Flay. I've highlighted it, hit the OK button, and it gives me the option. See, I moved it over here to record, push OK, recording set. It'll ask me if I want to record all of those or multiple episodes, and I can set it either way on there. It really kind of moves a little too quick though. I wish it wouldn't do that, but it does. Now I can back my way back out with the back arrow, back out here. You can look on all of these, you can actually look out several days. So you'll notice now we're into Tuesday. So you can move pretty far out and look what's ahead on TV that way. Also, beyond guide, you have watch now. This is just really just a different type of guide. You notice it's showing you shows that things you might be interested in that are on right now. Okay. Below that, it's got shows that are trending. Really a commercial for HBO Max is what this is. But they've got probably a free trial that you can try out on here. And then some of the more popular shows, they have different content available there. Premium series, premium movies. Those would once again be like HBO and Showtime, things like that. Featured TV shows. Well, let's say I like this America's Got Talent or something like that. I can go back and watch previous shows. Okay. And right here, you notice I moved the arrow up and you'll see it's highlighted right here on season 15. Now, it looks like only 15 is available, but for some shows, you can actually go in there and watch previous seasons of it as well. There's a category for new this month, so any kind of new episodes on those shows available there. And shows for kids as well. Reality TV and other categories below. My Library, these are programs that have been either movies or TV shows that you have set to record. Like this Lego Masters in here, there's several different episodes I can go directly to and see. One of the other things that's kind of neat about these is when it sets it to record it, if it's recorded, if that particular episode comes on more than once, it'll go ahead and record it. Now, what's nice about that is the guide isn't always, guides just like on satellite or on cable, they're not always 100% correct. Or maybe there's a ball game a ball game that carries over and knocks off part of a show. Well, if that's the only one you recorded, then you're not going to have a good recording of it. But if it records it later, it'll actually let you go through there and pick out which one you want to watch. So if you start watching it and notice that part of it got cut off, you can actually go out and watch a separate second recording of it. You can go over here to Discover, and this is really where we were talking about earlier, the on-demand content. Now, people find when they do TV this way, they don't have to record as much because so much is available on demand. Now, like I said, you may have to sit through some commercials if you do this, but I can look by looking at networks, okay? It's got them broken down here, all networks now. And it's got them listed by alphabetical order, but let's say I like AMC. and it's going to break down different TV shows that are on here. And I can go in here, I can pick one out, and let's say I like the Rifleman, this old TV show. I can go and watch different episodes of it. It's available on demand, okay? It also has the movies that are available that AMC is showing, and it's going to have them available on demand here as well. So whatever's available kind of that month, and that's pretty nice. Let's say a movie's going to be on that you want to see. It's going to be on Thursday night, and but you're heading out of town that night for a week or something, but you wanted to see that movie, but you have time for it now. Well, on demand, you can go ahead and watch it now instead of having to wait. Like I said, the difference is if it has commercial breaks, you're going to have to sit through the commercial breaks. Okay. Also up top, that shows programs. Also, if you go over to On Now, it shows what's on their channel. Now, if there's several channels that fit under that category, that channel name, then they'll show all of those there. But you'll see that obviously here on AMC, it's just one channel. You can also look through it if you're a movie hound. You can look for movies that are available. Like I said, right now they've got some kind of HBO special, so there are some HBO movies that are available on here. And go back out. We go down here further. It'll break it down by categories: action, drama, family, comedy, horror, romance movies, and then it's also got other categories below that. So not only can you look for a movie, but you can look for particular categories of movies that you like to watch. And if you're looking for a particular TV show or shows that fit in a certain category, you can look for them here. First line is just what they're watching, so very popular shows here. Outdoor and travel, if you like those kind of shows, they've got them listed there together. Home and kitchen, so if you like to renovate homes or cooking shows and things like that, they've got those together. History and science, documentary series, drama TV, crime and action, Latino channels, and then other categories listed at the bottom as well. So all of that, like we said on Discover, is really your on-demand content. There is right here, AT&T does put in here some little videos about how to use their device, but really that has to do with ordering, not using a Roku or any device like that to get it, because you'll notice in the picture over here, like it's got their own remote. It's got a lot more buttons on it. You can actually order a box that you can use for AT&T TV. Below that, it's got some of those categories that we mentioned that we looked through earlier here. Pretty much the same kind of thing. This one has the little magnifying glass as well, where you can look up anything. You can see in the past we've looked up by the name, Tom Hanks, so you can look like by an actor's name. You can look for a channel. You can look for a genre. You can also look for the name of a movie as well. So any of those, you can look up look by any of those and find it there. Also, the little gear over here to the right, that's the settings button, where we shows our preferences for the parental controls, okay? We've got those off, but you can actually set it where it blocks rated R or anything beyond that, TVMA, and also block all unrated. Once again, you can still watch those shows. You'll just have to put like a 4-digit code in before you actually watch it, okay? It also has a place for closed captioning where you can have it on all the time, on replay, or on just when it's on mute, okay? And you can also set it to autoplay the next episode, which is on demand. Maybe you like watching an old TV show or something, like we showed the Rifleman. You could have an episode, and when it ends, the next one starts right away. So you can do some binge watching, as they call it. We back our way out of there. It does have information about your account here as well, too. So that is how AT&T TV Now works. We'll hit the home button, take us back to our main screen. Now we'll show you Hulu with live TV. Once again, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, please type them up, put them on our YouTube page or put them on our Facebook page. We'll be glad to answer them if you do have any questions. All right, this is the home page for Hulu with live TV. It looks a little bit different. They have recently, over the last few months, added the live guide. And first of all, we'll look at this home page though. This is what's showing what's on live now. Now, the shows that it has listed here, when you first sign up for Hulu with live TV, what it does is it takes you through a series of a few questions that, basically asking, well, what do you like to watch when you watch TV? Whether it's the channels or whether it's types of shows, things like that. But you can actually click down and look through different programming that's on right now that fit into whatever likes that you put, whether it's, like you said, a TV show, or maybe it's just on a channel that you like. So you can find that content right here on the Live Now. It's also got under TV for You, different programming as well. Tells you a little information about it. Now, your remote does have a little button with a star on it, and or what you might call an asterisk. If we push that on this show, it brings over, we can start watching, can add series to My Stuff, which is your recording, and then, or we can go to details, and it will bring up information about it, okay? Up here it gives you the rating on the show and other information. I've also highlighted what information. If I click on that, then I can see the whole information. Of course, anytime it's an episode show, it's going to tell you what that episode, kind of a synopsis of that particular episode. If you go down here to the bottom, it's got different episodes that are mentioned for that show. And then also, if you click over to You May Also Like, it's got other shows that if you like Malcolm in the Middle, these are some other shows that you might enjoy as well. Okay, now it's got movies for you. So you can click through here, same thing, different movies that are available on demand. We've got more categories over here to the right. Right now they have Black Stories is one of the categories. Keep watching. These are shows that you have watched that have been watched on here, and you can go right back to them. Okay. These are programs that you have recorded unwatched in My Stuff. So whether it's a movie or a TV show, it's got different programming just listed right here that you have recorded and still waiting to be seen. Hulu Picks, okay? This is just their little category, mainly of stuff that is, Hulu has its own original content, so they have different docu-series and shows that are available on here, but it's not just that. Next category over, Blockbuster Movies. Once again, if you're a movie buff, plenty of movies available on there. Sports, news, FX on Hulu just have their own category. Hulu Originals, this is only programming that is original to Hulu. Then you've also got, you can break it down by channels, so whatever channels that you said were your favorites, they'll have them listed here and what's on them right now. You'll see the little Notice how it says live, the little green arrow. So this is going to show you what's on live on there right now. Kids, HBO Max. He said they've got a little advertising thing going on with them right now. Animated shows, and the categories go on and on there. Now if we click back up here, hit the back arrow back up to the home button. If I click over to live TV, okay, it's going to take me back to whatever is the last show we had on. But if I hit the down arrow, it brings up the guide. Once again, our time across the top, channels down the side. And there's several ways that I can set up the guide. I've got all over there. Channels that have recently been watched on here. The channels that I list as my favorites, okay? They're on there under my channels. Then it's got it broken down by different genres: sports, news, movies, and kids programming. Okay, so that's showing everything that's live that's on right now. But that's how the guide works. You'll notice this little green line through here tells you where it is in the programming, which is very helpful, just like this show that's on right here. It says there's 9 minutes left. Well, obviously, if you're just turning on the TV, you probably want to look over here and see what's coming on here in just a few minutes, more so than what's on right now, since the hour is just about over. To record, once again, we can move out here later in the day. We can go out here. Let's say we wanted to watch this Thelonious Monk, Straight No Chaser. We wanted to record that movie. We've got it on there. It says watch on Turner Classic Movies. Or I can go right here to record, okay? Now it's set to record from 8:45 to 10:30 p.m. You'll notice the little red dot on it there. That means it's going to record that. So it's that easy to set a recording for a TV show or a movie. If I hit the back button, the next tab is My Stuff. So these are shows or movies that we have set up that we wanted to record. Let's say like this show BLINDSPOT on here. We can go in here and we click down here to episodes, and it's got different seasons over here. I can click over to season 3 and start with episode 1 and start right there, okay? Gives me a little synopsis about it, how long it is, when it actually first aired, and what the rating is for it as well. It also shows upcoming schedule, when more episodes are coming on. And also, you may also like here. So whatever shows you liked before, anytime you see that, you may also like. It's going to have other shows that are kind of in that same category. My Stuff is broken down by TV shows, movies. So whatever movies I record, I can just go right here and find them. Sporting events, different teams. I can manage my DVR here. It says 36 hours still available. I can click down here. I've got this highlighted. If I click over, see it, I've got it delete highlighted now. So if I click OK, that'll go ahead and delete that off of there. We'll go ahead and do that right there. Yes, delete. It asks me again. You'll notice it's completely gone from there now. Okay, I'll show you again one more time. I go over, click OK on delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, delete. So it makes it very hard to accidentally do it because you're going to have to do it twice to make that happen. You'll notice it added a little more time onto the hours available, 39.1 hours available to record now on My Stuff, the DVR. Now if I go over here, it's going to show there's no content that's ready to expire, but If it is on there, these DVRs, they're set up to record, but if they're not watched over a, like a year period, they do go ahead and expire. And then also in my stuff, I can look up just by networks here. These are the channels that we've said, okay, these are my favorites. So I can look up into that channel what's on right now and other programming that's coming up on it as well. Okay, if I go over to Browse, that allows me to look up by networks. And this is all live programming. I can break it down by categories once again: entertainment, sports, kids, news, on demand only. And then it also at the end, it lists them in alphabetical order as well. I can look by TV shows. What's on live right now. Popular programs. New episodes, Hulu originals. Like I said, that's content that's only available on Hulu, not on any of these others as well. Newly added, quick bites, home cooking, binge-worthy TV, just all kinds of categories there as well. You can look at it by movies, and once again, you can break that down by categories as well. And also movies that are available only on Hulu, that are Hulu original movies as well too. And sports, kids, different kinds of genres there as well. This, just like the others, the magnifying glass at the top is the search button. You can look for any TV show, you can look for any movie, you can look for an actor or an actress, you can look for a genre right here. And also under your profile, it's going to be under the name that you've got it open under. You can set up a new profile there, or you can edit your other one. You can set your account information here, but it does tell you, yeah, you're going to have to go to hulu.com/account to get in there and change anything. Now, Hulu with live TV, one of the things that is different about it is it is very it's stationary in that you can't watch it on a TV here and then watch it somewhere else. It only allows you 4 home changes. So let's say I've heard of people buying one of these services and maybe using it for their home and also their workplace. But if you used it at home in the morning to watch the morning news and then turned it on at work, that would be 2 of the 4 changes that you would get to use in a year. So obviously Hulu with live TV would not be one of them that you would want to use in that case. But it is one of them that if you're somebody who really is into the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're the one that has the deal right now with Fox Sports Southwest and Fox Sports Oklahoma. I don't think I showed you that in the guide. I'll go back to that real quick. That it actually, both of those channels are listed in the guide even separately. Of course, sometimes their content is going to cross over and actually be the same. But we'll go in here into the guide and show that to you. I believe that's up a little further. Since they do have them listed. Yeah, Fox Sports Southwest, and then this is Fox Sports Oklahoma. It's actually listed right now as Fox Sports Southwest Plus. That name will change from time to time on there. But you can, it is the only one that we've seen that has an agreement right now with those Fox regional channels. And while we're talking about sports, before we move on to Sling, we will show you a couple apps that may be important for you to have. ESPN. The ESPN app has, you can watch any of the content on the ESPN channels that you have a subscription to on here. You'll have to prove your subscription to one of these cable replacements. But even if you could actually use this even if you had like a Dish or DirecTV. If that works better for you, you can do that too. But you'll have to have an account set up that will show you any of that content. You can also see ABC sporting events on here because ABC and CBS or ABC and ESPN are under the same umbrella under Disney. So let's say, you know, the Big 12, it's not uncommon for them to play ball games at maybe a college football game at 11 o'clock in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon on an ABC affiliate. You can actually watch it on the ESPN app as well. One extra thing that you may want to consider as an add-on beyond your cable replacement is ESPN Plus. Okay? ESPN Plus is a separate service. It's $4.99 a month for it. With that, you get all kinds of exclusive content. You cannot buy ESPN Plus through a satellite service. You cannot buy it through a cable service. The only place you can buy it is through their ESPN app. You can purchase ESPN Plus as a part of it. Now, if you're a big UFC fan, like Ultimate Fighting Championship, their pay-per-view events are on here. So you can see those on here. There's also plenty of extra content for UFC, as you see a couple of those items there. There's a lot of soccer content on here as well. There's also the Big 12. Why it's kind of big in our area too is there's a programming called Big 12 Now. And what that is the University of Texas signed their third tier agreements with ESPN. They have their own channel called the Longhorn Network. The University of Oklahoma has signed an agreement with Fox Sports, and if you go on to their online channel, which will show you some information, that's where their third tier rights are. But the other 8 schools that make up the Big 12 this past year signed an agreement to where their third tier content is on ESPN Plus. So I think Oklahoma State had a ball game on here. They played Kansas State and it was available only on ESPN Plus. There's also different coaching shows, a lot of minor sports like baseball, volleyball, softball, and things like that. A lot of that content is going to be available on here where it normally might not be shown at all. So a lot of that's here. There's also some coaches shows and things like that, or shows that are centric to different schools. Like Baylor has a show called Bears Den, Oklahoma State Roundup. So it's talking about Oklahoma State athletics on there. They also had a documentary you can see at the bottom there, Miles to Go, with when national championship winning head coach Les Miles decided to take the job at the University of Kansas. And so that programming was available on there as well. And just different shows like Big 12 Film Room. And I know they had a show before the NFL draft where they had that content on there. So if you're a Big 12 fan or just a big fan of like Oklahoma State or Texas Tech or one of the Big 12 schools, this may be something you want to consider. Like I said, it's $5 a month. Might be something that you want to consider as an add-on. Also, all the 30 for 30 content, if you've ever seen those, ESPN has some fantastic documentary movies called 30 for 30 on all kinds of sports. And those are all archived here and easy to find. There's also some content that's available on there too, like Peyton Manning had a show called Peyton's Places, where on the 100th anniversary of the NFL, he went around to different places and people and talked to them about major events in the history of the NFL. And that show, like we said, is only available on ESPN Plus as well. Okay, we'll back out of there. Fox Sports, for some reason, decided to split theirs into two. They have Fox Sports and Fox Sports Go. Fox Sports Go is more of the college sports and local channel type programming, where Fox Sports is their national programming. If the big Fox channel like Fox 14 out of Amarillo is showing an NFL game or a college football game on a Saturday, that content is going to be available on here. Also, if you go to this TV schedule, any channels that you have set up, you're going to have to show your subscription through one of these programs. But Fox 14 is on here, FS1, FS2, Big Ten Network, because I think we have this set up through our YouTube. Fox Soccer Plus and Fox Deportes are all on here. And if there is any kind of sporting events going on any of those channels, it's going to show that content. Okay, I will tell you this, as a big college football fan, I use this app quite a bit. Being a Big 12 fan, if there's an Oklahoma game on or something like that, I'll watch it on here as opposed to on the normal network channel. The basic reason being is I'm not a big fan of a big weather map right here. Also, if there are events going on, just like 2 years ago, John McCain's funeral procession was shown on TV while the OU football game was going on, and some people missed the early part of it. And I didn't even know it had happened because I was watching it on the Fox Sports app. So they show that live feed when the local affiliate may be showing something else like that. And of course, if you're watching a lot of Big 12 games like that, most of them are going to be on Big Fox or FS1. We will show you, if you do have other content, like if it's on Fox Sports Southwest or something like that, as long as you can show you have a subscription, it'll be on here. This is also the place where, I mentioned University of Oklahoma had their third tier rights were with Fox Sports. You'll see Fox Sports, see that content on Fox Sports Go, and you'll see different programming from time to time where maybe they have a TV show about the athletic department, or they may show, I've seen them show old ball games and things on here as well, or the coaches show. So all that content would be available here. You can see FS Southwest, FS Oklahoma on here. So this is a place that you can go and watch Thunderball games too. Like I said, you're going to have to show a subscription to those channels, but you can go and watch them on these apps as well. So that's some extra sports news. Also, anything that's on NBC, like their Sunday Night Football. Also, if you're a big Olympics or other competition like Olympics, that's going to be on there. The Kentucky Derby, really the whole Triple Crown. You can watch it on this app as well. And they do have some other content. They show a lot of the Premier League out of England. So you can watch a lot of that content on here. And that's a lot of what's up there right now, as the Premier League has started back up. But those are some sport channels for any of you sporting people. Now, we'll show you a little bit on Sling. Now, Sling does not have the local channels. They have not shown that they have any indication that they plan on changing over to that either. When Sling first comes up, it comes up on My TV. First line has My Channel, so these are channels that are regularly watched. It's showing you what's on right now. Right below that, it has different recordings that have been made. So whatever I have recorded, it's on there. Continue watching, so any programs that we started, and haven't finished, we can watch them there. We can resume watching. Any shows we've listed as favorites, trending live, shows that are recommended for you, and then several other categories as well. If you go to the On Now button, it breaks them down by categories here too: news, sports, kids, different series, movies, and then everything that's on right now below that. If we go to guide, here's our traditional guide. Once again, time across the top, channels down the left column. You'll see the little pink hearts there, as those are the favorites that have been marked. This guide, when you click down into the guide, it goes to the last channel that you had on, is how it works. If I click back and go over here to all channels, that tells me that's the channel list I have up. If I have my channels, click back, now it's just going to have here at the top, it's going to have all of those listed. It only has the ones listed that we've got marked as our favorites. So you can limit that guide to as few channels as you'd like by using the My Channels and using the little hearts. And that you fill those in the same way as you did with on the other one. We can click in there and see what's just on a particular channel. Excuse me. You can also look at the guide by, this is called the grid. You can go over here to channel and you can look at it by channels. Like right here, we've got it on TBS. Here's what's on live, and here's their schedule coming up later in the day. So if there's a particular program, you know it's on TBS, but you don't know what time it's on, you can go right here and you can click on into the evening that way, okay? Let's click my way all the way out. Go back over to grid. Also over here, you can look at it through different ways. You can have an entertainment, news, movie, kids, premium channels, sports, lifestyle, novellas, music. So you can set up your list to fit whatever categories you'd like. There are also some channels on here that are available that you'll see available content. You click onto it, and all of the content on it is on demand. They've got lots of TV shows and movies that are available there. They break down categories. They also have a tab just for sports. And they break it down by sports. So, you know, when sports really get going again, if you're a college football fan, you know, they're going to have nothing but a line of those. College basketball when it's their season, baseball same way. So you'll be able to look in there and just see what games are on right now, and you can turn to whichever one you want. Okay? Just like right here on soccer. There's several games that can be going on right now. Actually, only one that's going on right now, but you can see later on in the day that there might be a couple more than one going on at the same time. You can see which games are on and which one you want to watch. Here is your on-demand content on Sling. Most recent night episodes is the first category. AMC doing a little advertising as the free content, free preview through June 25th. They've got just all kinds of different categories here as well. And once again, your on-demand content, you can watch it anytime you want. You don't have to wait till you record it. You don't have to wait till it's on live. But most likely you're going to have to sit through the commercials, okay? Now, Sling, one of the things it has that some of the others don't, is it actually has a rental section on it where you can rent movies, very recently released movies, especially during this time that we've had this pandemic where theaters have been shut down. There have been some new releases on here. This is also, if you're a boxing fan or pro wrestling or whatever kind of pay-per-view events that come on, like WrestleMania and things like that, or heavyweight championship boxing matches. You can rent those on here. And this is where you would find it. It also has this broken down by categories as well. They've got the magnifying glass for the search, just like all the others. You can look by shows, movies, channels. You can go by the name of an actor and actress, the same thing here. And it's going to populate this area over here to the right. Right now it's just got popular searches on there. So you may pull it up, and maybe you were looking for Yellowstone since they had their season premiere last night. Without even having to type it in, you can just click right here and be right on it, okay? We've also got the settings button under the gear. Got your account information. It's got closed captioning information. Also, this was kind of the first one with parental controls, and really the most specific ones. You can set it however you would like, okay? And once again, you set up a 4-digit PIN to do it. One of the additional, we mentioned the rental. One of the things that helps with that is, even if you don't want to block any content, if you want to make sure that nobody makes purchases without that being an authorized person, you can mark making purchases. You have to put the PIN number in for that as well. So people aren't accidentally, might put that in quotes, aren't accidentally paying for programs that you don't want to have to pay for. There's other information about here, your quality of your connection. Of course, you're in PTCI's coverage area, not too much to worry about there. And then just other information that's available on here as well. Some information about your DVR. This one's pretty full. YouTube TV gives you unlimited. All the others do have a limit, but like we said, you can, there's so much available on demand, you really don't have to record everything that you want to watch either. Now, these cable replacement apps, it's not a one-size-fits-all. They're not all the same. They don't all work the same for everybody. You may be on a limited budget, so you may have to consider different ones for that. There is a lot of free content available, and since we have a Roku, I'll just show you this as well, like Roku channel. This comes free with this. And there's going to be TV shows and movies that are available on this for free. No matter what kind of TV you like watching, this stuff, they've got something for everybody on here. They've even got some live channels as well. Right here, this category, new this month. So here's some movies and TV shows that are new to this programming. They'll tell you what year, like this movie came out 2001, rated R, how long it is. And we'll tell you that when you do watch something on here, and you watch a lot of on-demand content too, typically you need to go ahead and trust the rating. If they, especially on the Roku channel, if it says it's rated R, and you're somebody who doesn't watch rated R movies because the content that comes with that rating, trust the rating, because this isn't going to be something that's FCC guided. So if it has an R rating, trust that it has R-rated content in it. They do have some free subscriptions on here from time to time, like if you like premium channels, but you can look for all kinds of stuff, kids and family programming. You can see here live channels. Weather Nation, that's a channel that comes with it. It's an alternative to the Weather Channel. There's movie channels, Newsmax, just all kinds of different things. This Old House, whatever it is you enjoy watching, there's all kinds of content available on here. There's old TV shows. I know at our house we've watched some Carol Burnett recently. You can see some of the old shows here. Beverly Hillbillies, Bewitched is on there, Highway to Heaven. So there's a mix of a little bit of everything on here. And I think, I don't see it on here right now, but there is, even for the live channels, there's a guide that's with probably 25 channels or so on there. Some news, some movies and things like that. Like we said though, on here, whatever the rating is, trust it, because if it says it's rated R, it's going to be rated R. If it says it's rated TVMA, then trust that that's what it is. But all that content is free on there. And we'll show you also how to add channels. There's all kinds of other channels that you can add to your content. But before we get to that, we do want to mention, if this is your first, if you're a little nervous about going to streaming TV and this is your first foray into this, PTCI has designed a couple of products that we think will be very helpful for that. First of all, we have a product called Streaming Care. Okay? Streaming Care is a nice product that $3.50 a month. And here's what you get with that. Okay? All you have to do is pick up your device. You have to buy that. You'll need one of those for each TV that you want to set it up with. So if you decide a Roku stick, or you buy a Roku TV, or you buy an Amazon Fire Stick or Apple TV, one of those, you have to have those devices at your house when they come. But if you call in and sign up for Streaming Care, you have to sign up for a minimum of a year, but like I said, only $3.50 a month. You can also set up, when you make that call, you can have a set up a time for our guys to come up and help set up your streaming devices. Okay? They'll literally come to your house and help you with that. It's also a good idea to do a little research, and we'll have some slides on that too. Kind of having an idea of which service that you would like, but they can help a little bit with that as well. So they can help set up your streaming device and devices. They can help connect those. And then, after they've left and you're set up, if you do have any problems, you can always call in. We have a number that you can call in, and we've got people that will be there to try to help fix your problem. If they can't help you get it fixed over the phone, then they will have in-home support by our PTCI employees that will come in and help make sure that that's taken care of. So $3.50 a month. And I will tell you this, if you decide not to, it's like, nah, I think I can do it, it won't be a problem. And then you get down the road and you need our help. That would have to go to Bob Squad, and that's $100 an hour from the moment they turn the key in our parking lot. So, if you took Streaming Care for 2 years, it will be less than 1 hour with Bob Squad. So, obviously, Streaming Care is a very valued purchase and very wise decision to go ahead and sign up for that, because I've had problems with my Roku stick a couple years down the road. So, it's good to have that kind of service in place, especially if you're not very tech savvy. Another service that you really may want to consider is PTCI's whole home Wi-Fi. Just under $10 a month, and here's what you get with that. We provide you a top-notch router. Okay? Our guys are going to come out, they're going to set it up, they're going to make sure that you've got good coverage throughout your house. Okay? And if you need an extender, you can put an extender on there for just a couple dollars more to make sure the whole house is getting good wireless internet connection. Now, why would you want to buy a router or rent a router from PTCI instead of going to Walmart and just buying one? Well, here's why. Because you need to update the firmware on your router on a regular basis. And if I had a show of hands right now of people who have not done that, there'd be a lot of hands in the air. That router is basically a computer that has specific job. And because that router would be on our network, our guys can remotely update it. Now, what does the update do? The update does two things. First, security. Cyber threats are not going down. They're continuing to increase, and they change and find new ways around it all the time. So that's why it's important to have this updated on a regular basis. Second of all, think of your internet connection like a road. You drive on it, and it gets worn out and gets potholes and things like that. Well, this comes in, and it updates it, and it keeps that connection nice and smooth, okay? Also with it, you get 24/7 tech support. And like we said, you get that free installation with that 1-year commitment. Now, one of the things you may want to consider, instead of just getting whole home Wi-Fi, is actually going the further step and getting whole home Wi-Fi Plus, which is a little bit more, $16.95 a month, but you get all the services of the whole home Wi-Fi, but you also get a professionally managed Wi-Fi network, secure IT web security, anti-theft for phone and tablet. This replaces like your Norton or any of the other security systems that are out there. File hopper backup, so you have an off-site backup of the things that you have on your computer as a part of that. And then also Password Genie, Password Manager. How many of you out there have a hard time remembering all the tons of passwords that you now have to have for different places? Well, Password Genie helps keep that in a secure place. Folks, this is an important product for you. Whether you're computer savvy or not, it's important to have security for whatever devices that you have, whether it's your phone, a tablet, a computer, your router. You need that stuff protected, and Whole Home Wi-Fi Plus is a great way to do that. Like I said, understand you don't have to pay for Whole Home Wi-Fi Plus and then pay for Whole Home Wi-Fi as well. This is just Whole Home Wi-Fi with a little more to it. Think of it like, as we were talking about cable services, think about adding it's like having regular cable and then adding the premium channels. So same kind of thing. But those are really 3 great products from PTCI where we're going to help keep you running smoothly, help you get your money's worth when it comes to your internet speed, and we'll help keep you protected as well. If you're not sure which one of these streaming services is right for you, there's a couple things that you need to do. First, there's a couple of websites that you can go to kind of see which one might work best for you. This is where you can find your channels at thestreamable.com and suppose.tv. You visit each of these streaming websites for complete channel packages. And what you would do is you go in there, and let's say you've noticed, okay, as I mentioned earlier, 6 or 7 channels, maybe there's 7 channels that you watch 90% of the time. And you say, these are the channels that I gotta have. So you put those in at either one of these places, and what it's going to do is it's going to say, okay, here's your options. If it'll show you Hulu with live TV, how much it would cost to fit into that category, because each of these, a lot of these products have several tiers. But what you'll do is you'll find out how much it would cost and which ones would have all the channels that you're looking for. Okay? Now, another way that you can do that too is Emmanuel will bring up the screen that these are some of the major carriers out there for streaming TV and their websites, and they'll show you exactly what channels they have. I will mention this while we're on here. I didn't mention we were going through it. AT&T TV Now. I've had people ask about RFD TV. That is on AT&T TV Now. It's the only one that has it. So if that's an important channel to you, that might be one that you want to really consider. But if you want to see exactly what channels any of these have, just go to any of these websites. And those are constantly changing. We've had them add channels between different streaming workshops and things like that. So that's one where you have to kind of look. We can't just show you all the channels, because by the time we finish this up, they may sign a contract for a new deal to add other channels to it as well. So you can go to any of these and find exactly what they have. All right, well, let's go back to the TV now, and we'll go in here and we'll show you how you can search and find channels and add to your guide. We go down here all the way to streaming channels. If I click OK here, it's got different categories, okay? But I can go down here to search channels, okay? Click over. You'll notice recent search selections. It's got all that stuff right here. One of them that we've kind of shown people because it has become a popular yet inexpensive one, Friendly TV. Let's say I wanted to add it. Excuse me. It's Friendly TV, family friendly TV. It has a Hallmark channel plus Hallmark movies and mysteries and drama, INSP channel, Up TV, Game Show Network, Weather Channel, and Outdoor channel as well. If I click on that, here's how easy it is to add one of these apps. I clicked OK. Now it's highlighted to add channel. I clicked OK one more time. Friendly TV has been added to the end of home. To move it, highlight it and press the star button. OK. Okay, if I hit the home button, I'm right back here. Here's what they were talking about at the bottom. There it is. Now, let's say this was what I'm going to watch most of the time. This is going to be what I use as my cable replacement. Okay, if I hit the star button, it brings up this little menu here. I can rate the channel, I can move the channel, I can remove it, check for updates, give us feedback. We want to move the channel. So we're going to go up here, I highlight it, click OK. You'll notice this little arrow, these directions right here. Okay, let's say this is the one I'm going to watch the most. You can see now I can move it any direction I want if I have it in the middle. If I go all the way to the top, put it right here, click OK. That's its spot now. I've placed it in that place, okay? So when I hit the home button, that's where it is. Well, let's say I used it for a month and I decided, no, I don't really want to have that service. So I click the star button again, and I can go here to remove channel. Highlight it, click OK. Notice it asks me, are you sure you want to remove Friendly TV? And it's even got cancel highlighted, so it makes it hard to do it accidentally. So I move the highlight up to remove, push OK, and then when I hit the home button, it's gone. It's not down here at the bottom. It's completely gone. So that's how easy it is to add or delete. We'll tell you, you look through that search, whatever category you like, whether you're a hunting and fishing person, well, if you like the cooking and things like that, there are tons of free channels out there as well. Pluto TV that's mentioned right here, a lot of free content on that as well. But there's all kinds of free content. You can look right here under featured free, and it will place a lot of the free content that's out there available and tell you what it's on as well. A lot of that's on Roku, but also any content that's also available on others is available there on Featured Free as well. I will show you this too, Pandora. Some of you may know this, you may have this on your phone, but if you have a Pandora account where you listen to music in your car, you can actually turn it on your TV and listen to your that same Pandora that you set up on your TV. You can watch, if you have Netflix, it's got an app for that, so you can watch your Netflix on here as well, and things like that. There's all kinds of content that is available on Roku. So, I'm looking back here at the computer. I don't see any more questions, any questions that are available here for us to answer. Yeah, none listed under our Facebook Live or our YouTube channel live feed, live stream. And I guess that'll be it. 8 days from now, our cable system shuts off for good. So if you need help, feel free to call in. If you do have questions about streaming service 2, you can always call and ask for me. My name is Jason, and I'll try to help walk you through a little of that too as well. So happy streaming, everybody. That's it.